Hey guys, good evening. This is Zach Kennedy, marketing manager with Get a Real Estate Life. I'm coming to you live on StreamYard. This is the first time I've used it, so bear with me. I'm going to be clicking some different places, working on figuring this out. Thank you for watching this video. So, what I wanted to do is come to you live. As you know, Genny Williams, our CEO, is all the time wanting to share new ideas for you as a real estate agent to get sellers to call you. That's what we do around here. We've got so much cool content coming out soon. As a lot of you guys know, Genny has been the CEO of Get a Real Estate Life, this training and marketing company for 11 years, going on 12 now. Well, for the past almost 3 years, Genny has been back in sales. She's been back in the game, and she's been absolutely crushing it. And we have put together a lot of new content that we are bringing you guys very soon. I'm so excited. So what I wanted to do tonight was first test StreamYard so that we know it works. So I'm having good practice there. Number two, I wanted to come to you guys with a new farming/marketing platform called Nosy Neighbor. If you are the type of agent that likes to have listings, if you like to work with sellers, this is a good one. If you've been thinking about putting a farming plan together, you can think of farming, if you don't know, as maybe there's a neighborhood that you live in or you want to sell in. Well, what you need to do is farm to that market, and get in front of the people in that neighborhood, become a part of that neighborhood so that people think of you in that neighborhood when it's time to sell. So a lot of farming, you think of direct mail. Farming, you think of developing those deep relationships with people in those communities. Well, this is a way that you can do that without having to send postcards yourself. Postcard marketing is extremely effective still. You might think direct mail is dead. It absolutely is not. My mentor, Chad Beasley with eXp Realty, always says, Chad does extremely good direct mail marketing. He always says that I want to own the mind share of that seller for at least 8 seconds before they throw my postcard in the trash, which is a really good way to look at it. But also Chad, when Chad goes on listing appointments, he sees his postcards up on people's fridge all the time. So he knows it still works. I trust him. We know a lot of agents that have invested in direct mail marketing, and it really pays off. Genny worked with a team here in the Birmingham, Alabama area, years ago. This agent was extremely successful, but he was working with buyers the majority of the time. And if you've been working with buyers, especially in this market, God bless you. And I've been doing it too. Genny has too. It's been rough going for some buyers. People are missing out on multiple offers. It can be really tough. It can be emotionally draining for you as an agent. Well, this agent had been working buyers the majority of the time. He was ready to move to the listing side. He was ready to become a dominant listing agent. And so Genny put a plan together for him, direct mail. And over the course of a year, he went from majority buyers agents to majority listings. And he did it in a year. And I want to say they were putting out like 10,000 pieces a month. And I'll let you just guess for yourself the cost of that. But the payoff of that was just enormous. They went from complete buy side for the most part to dominant listing team. They are a fantastic team. That's the Josh Vernon group here in the Birmingham area. They're fantastic. So I'm coming to you with this Nosy Neighbor platform. I just want to explain it to you, how it works. I don't have an affiliate link. If you join, I won't make any money off of it. We're just talking about strategies that can help you get more listings. Nosy Neighbor I am currently using Nosy Neighbor. I'm with eXp Realty. So as eXp Realty agents, we get access to KV Core, the platform, the CRM, KV Core. Well, KV Core is run by a company called Inside Real Estate. And Inside Real Estate is the maker of the Nosy Neighbor program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the website for Nosy Neighbor. It's nosyneighbor.com. They frame it as exclusive automated marketing. So the way it works in a nutshell, you can go to nosyneighbor.com just to see a little bit more. You reserve a zip code, and this, as it's available. I want to say that wherever your market is, you could be the only person in the zip code. So as soon as somebody grabs a zip code, it's theirs and theirs exclusively. The cost of Nosy Neighbor is $750 a month, probably like you saw in the description on the video. So $750 a month, and there is a 1-year lock. So you will pay $750 times 12, and you have to lock in for at least a year. So before you have a heart attack, before you stroke out, let's talk a little bit about the platform and what it does for you. And you can decide maybe this is something that you want to do. If you don't have KV Core, if you're happy with the CRM that you have and this isn't available to you, stick around, because once we talk about the back end and how this program works, I think there are workarounds. I think there are principles that you can take and put into your own business, even if you don't decide to do Nosy Neighbor yourself. And I'm going to keep running by to make sure I don't miss any comments here. If you have any comments or questions as the video goes on, just drop those in and I should be able to see those and answer them. So how this works, reserve a zip code. I have a zip code here in the Birmingham area. And then you download the companion Nosy Neighbor app. I have some screenshots that I'm going to reference here in a second. What the system does is when a home in the zip code you have reserved goes on the market, Nosy Neighbor will identify potential sellers in your area, and it will mail them postcards. It will also run targeted email messages, and there are some digital ad impressions through display marketing like your Google, things like that, as people are browsing the internet. Nosy Neighbor does all of this for you. So I have 35244 in the Hoover, Alabama area reserved. I've had it for about 3 months now. What happens is when a home in that zip code goes on the market, Nosy Neighbor identifies the likely sellers on that street or in that neighborhood or nearby. And I think they identify that. If you're familiar with the HomeSnap app, like the HomeSnap Pro app, HomeSnap has this like heat map feature where you can zoom in on neighborhoods and you can see like an estimate of the homeowner's equity, the equity in their home. And if it's above a certain percentage, then HomeSnap will identify that as a potential seller. Because they have a lot of equity, they've been in the house for a while. So that's like something you can bookmark, and you can actually, if you don't want to do the Nosy Neighbor thing, like I said, the workaround I think could be when you see a home in that zip code that you have reserved go on the market, then you search through the neighborhood to try to find people with equity in their home and try to market to them. You can maybe use Forewarn, or you could put a letter in the mail, or drop by, or see if you can find their phone number online somehow and reach out to those people. You can use your RedX for stuff like that too. There are a lot of options for you to identify likely sellers and then reach out to them. The cool thing about Nosy Neighbor is, again, it takes all of that off you. It's completely automated. So that's essentially how it works. Again, to wrap it up, a house goes on the market in the zip code you've reserved. Nosy Neighbor will mail postcards with your face and your contact information to likely sellers. And the postcards look like pretty generic, but it has your company logo and your headshot and your contact information. And it will say, your neighbor at 123 Main Street has put their home on the market at X amount, 384.9. Have you considered what your house could sell for in a market like this? There's a little QR code on the postcard. So all someone has to do is take their phone, open the Photos app, take a picture of the QR code, and it pulls up a website. And it's essentially just a home valuation page. When someone gets the postcard and shoots the photo of the QR code, inputs their information, that lead is sent directly to your KV Core website. As the Nosy Neighbor system generates likely sellers, it will also send you potential leads in that area down on that street. And what those look like, and let me just make sure I'm actually gonna. Yes. Cool. So I'm gonna pull up some photos that you guys can look at. These are screenshots of the Nosy Neighbor app that you download after you make the purchase. So what it does is, this is today. This is what my dashboard, my Nosy Neighbor dashboard, looks like today. So it's got it's got 14 people that I can text now. And so what that looks like is 14 people. These are people over the weekend. So there have been 14 people from Friday, Saturday, Sunday that Nosy Neighbor has sent me that live near homes that have just gone on the market. Okay. So when I click on the people to text now, then I have their name, the address that they live in, and I'll zoom in a bit in case you can't see that. It's got the name of the lead. It's got the house that they live in. It's got their phone number and their email address. And this is the house that has gone on the market. So I have a script let's see. I have a script in Microsoft Word where when I open up my Nosy Neighbor app, Monday through Thursday, I text people. I'm not a big caller. I'm not a big cold caller. I like to just text people. So the way it works, every morning I wake up between 9 and 12. I will text all the new leads that Nosy Neighbor has sent me. And I will tell them, hey, this is Zach with eXp Realty in Hoover. It's nice to meet you. I just, I know that your neighbor has just put their home at 123 Main Street on the market at $349,000. Have you considered what your home may be worth in this market? Have you considered what a buyer might be willing to pay for your home? There's, endless scripts that you can use. There's a lot of great services out there. Mine's really simple and easy. I'm just saying, do you want to know what your house is worth? Your neighbor's house is selling for this. I think that's a really good strategy to reach out to sellers. They already know that they have a neighbor that's put their house on the market, so they're already considering, more than likely, what their house is worth today. So I just fire off that script to each lead. Just make sure that I change out their name and the property that is in question right now, the property that's gone on the market. I also include a photo, like a digital file of my business card that has my headshot and my contact information. I'm also in the Homes for Heroes program. So I have a Homes for Heroes logo on my business card, and along in the script, I include, hey, I'm a Homes for Heroes agent. If you know any, law enforcement, firefighters, healthcare workers, teachers, let me know, because I could save them money when they buy a home. I think having that and having my face on the business card makes people a lot less likely to cuss me out, I guess, maybe for texting them randomly. But I think it's easier. I think it kind of brings it down for people that have just gotten really just a cold text from me. Again, there's a difference in the people that receive the postcard and hit the QR code and input their information to get their home valuation. Those people are sent straight to your CRM. The people that you're getting, that Nosy Neighbor is sending you every day, those are people that live nearby the home that has just gone on the market in your zip code. But they haven't taken the QR code photo yet. It's right. So they're not as far down the funnel yet. You're just trying to get them interested and get them into the top of the funnel, introduce yourself. If they say, we're not ready yet, okay, well, you've got somebody that, as long as you're nice to them, as long as you come from a place of giving value, these are people that you could potentially work with in the future. Again, this is called farming. So if you can break even the first year, if you can make a little bit of money the first year, then you're doing great. there are a lot of people that farm really, really good neighborhoods. Maybe they come out at a loss in the first year, but pretty soon they start to pick up business in the places that they're looking to get business from. So that's pretty much it. I have, look, I mean, I have the ability to call people and talk to them. Um, I'm not quite there yet. That's not really my style. I would rather just text somebody. Um, the contact information that is given from Nosy Neighbor is not always correct. I would say that probably out of 10 messages that I send, one or two will bounce back. It'll just be a message failed to send, so it'll just be a wrong number, or maybe it will be like somebody saying, I live here, but I rent. I'm not the seller. That kind of, I'm not the owner. That kind of thing. So it's not obviously a perfect system, but really no systems are perfect. So let's just talk a little bit more about this. Again, if you have any comments on any of the platforms, you can drop one in, and I will take a look at that. So the postcards are sent daily. I just pulled up. Let me pull up my weekly report that Nosy Neighbor sent me on Sunday. Okay, so in the last 7 days, Nosy Neighbor has sent 76 postcards for me, 292 emails, and the display ads across the internet have gotten over 6,000 ad impressions. Okay, that's in the last 7 days. In the last 30 days, 324 postcards have been sent, over 1,200 emails, and over 22,000 ad impressions. And I've been using the program for 3 months. So far, in 3 months, it has sent 789 postcards, 2,800 emails, and I've had over 46,000, almost 47,000 ad impressions, all of which I never touched. I never sent those postcards. I didn't design them. Nosy Neighbor took care of that. I didn't have to get on HomeSnap or the HomeSnap Pro app and look up and archive all the information, name, phone number, and email and address of these people that could potentially want to sell their house. I didn't do any of that. Nosy Neighbor did it for me. And I'll try to keep the video short. So I'll just give you my results. I have actually made my money back. The $750 per month, you get locked in for a year. I started that, like I said, about 3 months ago. I picked up a listing from a homeowner that got the postcard, took a photo of the QR code, and got her home valuation. She popped into my CRM. I sent her a text like 3 or 4 hours later and said, "Hey, this is Zach with EXP. If you're curious about what your home could sell for, I'd love to help you come up with something. Just tell me about your situation." This was a traveling nurse. She had a condo in Hoover in the zip code that I wanted. And she was a traveling nurse. She was going on assignment for a while in California. So she wanted to sell her condo. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath. I listed it at $189,500, like 2 days after I met her, and sold it cash myself over the weekend. So taking both sides of that deal, I generated enough commission to cover the entire year of using Nosy Neighbor. So I know a couple other agents that I've talked to about this program. One is definitely doing it now, and one is probably doing it now. I mean, look, this is just my success, so it by all means doesn't mean that I can guarantee success for you. But I do think this is an interesting program. If you are already with EXP, or if you use the KV Core platform, I think you should give this an honest look. It's really nice that it sends the postcards out for me. I don't have to do that. If you haven't done postage lately, it is getting very expensive. But I'm getting at least 300 postcards sent every month through this program. I love that it's going after listings. You're going to get buyers. The more you're in the business, the more you're out there promoting yourself and how you're helping people, the buyers are going to come either way. What's really powerful right now is having listings. So the last 2 listings I've had, I sold myself. really just by having the sign in the yard. I put one under contract in about 2 hours of the sign being in the yard in Gardendale about 3 weeks ago. And I sold that Hoover condo in 2 days myself. Just got a phone call from a buyer. I guess she saw me on Zillow or Realtor.com and saw my name. So I'm who she called. So I'm really fortunate and grateful that with this farming program, I've made my money back in the first 3 months. I think it's good practice for people. If you're struggling with, what do I do every day? What are my habits? This is a good program. And, it gets you with the people that it places into your app that you can text or call or email or add to your database. It's really cost effective like that. And it gets you in the habit of prospecting. Now, again, you can use the principles here, even if you don't have KV Core, you're not with EXP, you don't want to spend that $750. I think, you can work around it. There are principles to take from how this works. So I just wanted to explain that. Let me check see if anybody has any questions. Nope. All right. Well, I'm going to cut it off there. If you have any questions about this program, reach out to me. You can add me on Facebook. You can message the Get a Real Estate Life page, and I will respond to that, or just comment below. One other thing, if you missed us last week, we featured Karen Taradas with Social U, who came on and talked to us about Canva, as in canva.com, which is an awesome design website. You can go and you can use the app. You can use here, I'll just go. Am I still sharing? Yeah, let's make sure you guys see that. Canva.com is fantastic for designing all kind of stuff for social media. You can do videos in it. You can get logos. You can do all your branding here at Canva. Well, Karen Taradas gave us a complete tutorial on it. It was fantastic. That's on our YouTube channel, the Get a Real Estate Life YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, you can scroll down or scroll up wherever you're at on the page and click videos and watch that video. It's fantastic. Again, we have Six Figure Intensity still going. We actually backed up a few weeks so that we could catch up, as Genny's just gotten back from Alaska. She had a 2-week trip with her family and looked like she had a ton of fun. Look forward to hearing more about that. I'm sure she'd love to share her experience too. So yeah, we still have Six Figure Intensity. If you'd like to join, it's never too late. We've still got tons and tons of good content that we're going to bring to you. As Genny always says, we want to get sellers calling you. We want to get your phone ringing from sellers. So I hope you enjoyed this talk. If you have any suggestions or platforms that you want us to cover or talk about or strategies, reach out to me or Genny. Again, we've got some really good stuff coming your way soon. Thank you guys, and I'm going to end it there.